So, as you can see, if you're, uh, aware of your surroundings, it's not too hard to shoot a few scavs and get out. I say a few, but there's 12. Then you'll probably get a level up, or two. No, one, definitely. I'm set in the PvE mode. You can click on the PvP zone to switch to the PvP zone if that is your desire. Let's see. You have a hideout, which is a sort of a mechanic which will provide you with passive bonuses as well as the ability to craft things. So we'll load that up. Take a look. Welcome to your personal hideout. For now, it is an old bomb shelter clogged with rubbish, but by making an effort, you can make it a full-fledged underground base with everything you need for comfortable living. You can use items and resources you found in raids to build and improve various areas of the hideout, many of which will give you special bonuses and abilities, increased rate of off-raid health regen, energy and hydration, boosted skills leveling, the ability to craft various items, etc. Escaping from Tarkov can take quite a while, and you need a place where you can regroup and regain strength. This is the place, your hideout. So we have various things here. Security is just kind of a building that needs to be upgraded. We'll need to find a measuring tape, or as I call it, mix tape, because it's M tape when you find it, the item. As you can see, this doesn't have the little check mark, so it doesn't need to be found in raid, actually. Let's see, the stash. Upgrading the stash increases the size of your stash. Depending on the level of your account, you may or may not need to worry about this. I'm currently playing this on a standard account, so my stash is not upgraded at all. As you can see, it takes a fair amount of money, 2.5 million rubles, but it'll come. And also, in order to upgrade the stash, you also need to have the vents upgraded once, which, as you can see by the green thing in the unlock, we can actually do. It just costs 25,000 rubles, which isn't that much in the long run. So we'll just do that. If you go to character here, they cleared my whole inventory here. Did I get anything? Yeah, I got stuff. I have the LEDX and the MPX, but the MPX is it doesn't have any ammo in the mags. And I think they took away the AK I picked up. There's 2 AKs in here, but neither of them are the AK-12 that I picked up. But you get a couple nice items. There's a fair few meds. There's some low-level armors, headsets. Hearing is very important, like I said, and the headsets will extend your ability to hear. You can hear some of the quieter sounds from farther away. Things like that. Footsteps, gunshots more accurately tell kind of where they are. Pretty important. We have a bunch of money. You don't really need the hats. There's a bunch of stuff you don't need. It's kind of there's a lot of items in this game. It's kind of difficult to say what you will and will not need. You probably need at least one of most things at some point, but when and how many is There's like spreadsheets if you really want, but I just kind of play things by ear. I don't mind taking kind of a long time to play. Yeah, there's various tricks you can do. Like you can take these rigs and you can put them in the backpacks to save some space if you so desire. I don't like to have a lot of backpacks in my thing. I used to, but backpacks for the most part, a lot of them don't give you much more space than they take up. So like this Berkut, for example, it's 4 by 5, and if you open it, it's 4 by 5. So it doesn't really save you that much. The rigs, however, this is 3 by 4, but there's like a lot more than 3 by 4 slots here. So having rigs can be really good for saving some storage space. And eventually you'll get like containers that are specialized. So we'll talk about that for a second. Traders. You have a bunch of traders. When you first start the game, you only have access to 2, apparently. But you take this Lucky Scav junk box here, which costs a little over 1 million rubles, or later on you get a barter trade for PMC dog tags. As you can see, this only takes up 4 by 4, but if you open it, it contains a lot more space than 4 by 4, but it only will take like barter items. So items like fleece or ripstop here, or the GPU or the LEDX. These are all items for barter trades and for hideout upgrades and or crafting. It will not take like guns or backpacks or anything like that. There's a key case, which can store keys, obviously. Traders have different loyalty levels, and you have to meet certain requirements. So for Therapist, for example, who mostly sells like meds and some of these cases and stuff, in order for her to be level 2, and at level 2 she sells a lot more things, you have to be level 14. Her disposition toward you has to be 0.15, which happens as you complete tasks for them, and you need at least 600,000 rubles spent. We'll take a look at this handbook thing. In the handbook, you can find little descriptions of items. I wouldn't spend too much time worrying about the handbook, but it does have like your task stuff. So we didn't actually find a lot of these, but some of these were notes that we could have found during the tutorial. They just decided to give you them, I guess. And you can find like the audio tape that we first heard. There's another one as well, but I'm not going to listen to those right now. I think, let me see. Character. Tasks. Yeah. So you go to character, task, you can see your tasks. The story ones are the main ones. We have to talk to Ragman and talk to Therapist. Your side tasks are like where the majority of your tasks are going to be, and operational tasks are basically just daily quests or tasks. So we need to talk to Therapist and Ragman. So this is the selling menu. This is the tasking menu. Neither of them are offering us any side tasks currently, but we can visit them and they'll talk at us.
Добрый день.
Hello, our guys were given your contact in case of emergency. I need to reach the evacuation point at the port. Can you help me with this?
Вы правильно сделали, что обратились ко мне. Но я не смогу провести вас через весь город. В Таркове ни у кого нет полного контроля над территорией.
Doesn't seem too able to help us. What can you help me with then? I need to know my way around this place.
Я знаю людей, которые могли бы показать вам безопасные маршруты в городских кварталах. Но вы должны понимать, что на удержание этих проходов уходит немало ресурсов.
So I'll have to pay info for the routes. How much? Or you're not going to help me for free, are you? And, you know, if you're not reading, she's basically just telling us that, you know, she knows routes. She can give you the information about the routes, but they require, you know, upkeep.
Мы пользуемся этими маршрутами для вывода гражданских, поэтому не экономим на безопасности.
So she wants you to hand over 250,000 rubles. It seems like a lot. It is half your money that you start with. But it also unlocks the streets map, which is a good thing to have. So we're just going to go ahead and pay it.
Я рада, что вам оказалась небезразлична судьба мирных жителей, с трудом выживающих в городских кварталах. Вы сделали правильный выбор.
Got any jobs?
Давайте посмотрим. Может, найдется что-то для вас.
She gives us the task first in line. She wants us to go to the Ground Zero map, which is the non-tutorial version of the map that we played on for the tutorial. And she wants us to hand over found in raid medicine items. We're not going to turn in the LEDX. We want that. So we'll have to go to Ground Zero and find some meds.
Буду рада увидеть вас в следующий раз.
We're going to go ahead and leave her. And just check tasks here. And as you can see, first in line is now there. Ragman. Ragman sells all of your, well, not all of, he sells a good selection of armors and helmets and rigs and backpacks, as well as some other like face coverings and things like that. At loyalty level 1, most of the traders have a pretty paltry looking inventory, but they do sell everything you kind of need. Packas, unfortunately, aren't very good. As you can see here, this Packa requires like 30k rubles or so. But you can also barter trade. So if you find half masks and keep them in your stash, you can trade 3 half masks for a Packa, which, I don't know. It's up to you if that's worth it or not. I don't really think it's worth keeping half masks in your inventory to trade for a Packa. That's 30k. But you could. The UN armor is semi-decent, so finding some max energies, like every now and then, and trading might not be a terrible idea. Anyway, we're going to visit him.
Будь как дома, не стесняйся.
Our guys were told you could help if there are supply issues.
Обижаешь, Ахпер. У барахольщика ты все найдешь, что нужно. Хочешь броники, хочешь реально модный шмот, тебе подберем. Но ты же не просто так зашел, а?
I need to get to the port, but I don't know the area.
Эвакуироваться собрался, да? Много кто там выйти пытался. Но зашел ты правильно. Я тебя и с нужными людьми сведу, и дорогу покажу. Сделай только кое-что для меня сначала.
You look us up with people, but he wants a favor. So what do you
В
need?
лесочке рядом с Ультрой какой-то кипиш начался. Вроде даже техника была. Короче, надо проверить эти места. Свои все у меня уже заняты работой. Так что ты вовремя объявился.
So, a regular recon job.
Ага, осмотри все вокруг Ультры на развязке. Особенно если технику услышишь или найдешь. Потом мне все расскажешь.
So he wants us to take a look around the map interchange, the Ultra Mall. Does he have any work?
Прости, брат, сейчас ничего нет.
Nope, no side tasks for him. I gotta go.
Ага, на связи тогда.
Okay, so with that, we have our first tasks, and we could either run Ground Zero for this, or we could survive and extract from interchange. we will probably do an interchange run just real quick. I'm going to take this MPX, hit control click to quickly move the magazines for it into my rig. And then you can just right click it, go down to load ammo, and you'll see any ammos that you have for those magazines listed, and you can just load up your ammo that way, or you can drag and drop the ammo like here into the magazines. Let's see. Especially early on, I like to, well, first of all, I'm going to take this recorder out. We don't need that like in our special slots. There are some items here that also won't drop, like you keep them if you die. So there's certain kinds of items that can fit here. This recorder or anything that has this SPEC in the corner can go in there. So the recorder, there's like little marking things. I saw a ragman, yeah, right here. These are little devices that mark locations. Those can go there. CMS kits can also go there, but we don't seem to have any of those. So early on, I'm probably going to store my meds largely in the bum. Because I don't have a lot, and losing them in a silly way would be unfortunate. You don't really need to wear hats for any reason. It's probably better to wear helmets. I don't think we have any helmets though. We can't really buy any either. I mean, we can, but neither of these helmets let you wear headsets. I think these helmets let you wear some headsets. Let's see if I can wear this helmet with this headset. I cannot. I think I would rather wear the headset. In PvE, the AI actually doesn't shoot your head as much as your torso. And we're really just trying to survive here. We're not trying to do any crazy thing. Ground Zero is the map that you start on. We paid the rubles to have streets unlocked. Interchange is also unlocked, but all the rest of the maps we are going to have to unlock through the story. So we are going to... Oh, it's not a good time. We'll just get in and out real quick. You can also insure items. In PvE, you pretty much always get back the things that you insure. I am going to insure this, I think. I'll insure the mags as well. The trouble is that it's kind of hard to buy things currently because we don't have a lot of traders and they are low loyalty level. So I will insure some things just to make our lives a little bit easier. You pay like a token amount, and then if you die like a day later, anything that you insured will pretty much show up in your messenger. You can't insure everything, so like there you saw that I insured the gun and the mags. The ammo is not insured, so just keep that in mind. But all of the gun parts should come back to me if I die. If you're in PvP, you know, things are a little bit different. If a person picks up your weapon and takes it out of the raid, you will not get that weapon back if it is insured. Same with like armors and all that stuff, because you can insure all that stuff as well. But in PvE, there's not really anybody to take your stuff. So as far as I'm aware, it always comes back. So you'd actually, like, especially in PvE, you kind of don't... You don't have to lose everything, you know what I mean? Where do I want to go? Oh, and now that I'm not playing this, now that I'm not playing the tutorial level, I'll switch my gun over to full auto. Because it'll be better to have full auto in most situations against PMCs. They do wear armor and helmets and things like that, and their AI is a little bit better. I'm actually considering not going in the mall. I'm not sure. I think I'll go in. We're listening. Especially here. So the maps have like boss enemies a lot of the time, who are a lot tougher than regular PMCs or scavs. And Interchange's boss can be up here. I don't think he is. You can hear scavs fighting PMCs outside. There's somebody up ahead. It's just a scav. Take a look down that hallway, because Killa can be down there. Killa is the name of the boss on this map. But I think we're okay. The noodles will need some of those soon. Even though we're not finding the meds on Ground Zero, we can still take them and turn them in. Slickers can be used for, they, I like the way that they have, like, off-brand things in this. They usually just change, like, a letter to make it silly or whatever. If you look around this place, there's usually, like, food. There's decent ammos around here. Like, PPBS is a very high penetration ammo for an AK. I'm not going to take it right now because I don't have a lot of space, and I'm not probably going to use PPBS anytime real soon. But, you're free to make your own decisions. I heard a scav. Or somebody. They're coming up the escalator. Looking around for whatever I can find, really. There's a morphine. I'll need a few of those for found and raid, or that are found and raid later for a task. I don't know if I need it super quickly. I thought he was going to keep running. On some maps, I'm not going to take the Terran file right now. That's for a task or a story mission later. We need Iskras pretty soon for a task. So that's a good find. On some of these maps, scavs spawn like very, very like frequently as you kill and loot things. I picked up some ammo there for a shotgun. Magnum ammo is pretty good. And it's fairly plentiful. PS320 is a scope, a variable scope. It's pretty nice to use, and you need to use one for a task much later. But I'll take it now because they are nice optics to have. There's a key. We're gonna put that bandage. We're gonna take the key. Keys are a very good idea to put in your secure container, because you don't really need them for... Oh, and that's Dorm 206. That's a nice key to find, because you need it for an early task. Where was that other... Oh, well. Different areas have different kinds of loot. Interchange has a fair amount of stuff. It's a really good map for food. In one of the stores is basically a big grocery store. Gas analyzer. We need those for an early task. That's nice. It's also good for like certain kinds of computer parts. Well, not certain kinds. Most computer parts. And like it's decent for tools and stuff. I'm not really sure why I'm searching the computers. I don't really need computer parts right now. And currently I'm trying to take mostly just what I need, like in the immediate future, because as a standard account, you really don't have a lot of stash space. Okay. We're gonna move kind of through the mall. I spawned over out that way. One of the main extracts is out that way. I know that I can't leave through that extract because I spawned close to it. So if you double tap O, you can see which extracts you have available to you. I'll hit it again if I can. Emercom is out on the other side. The Power Station V extract is a car. You can pay money to them and they will extract you. And that's out that way. There's like a little power substation that has the car. There's cars on a lot of maps, but they're not always available. Sometimes they're not. They're just not there. So you gotta be careful of that. It's not an extract that you can count on unless you have seen it is up with your own eyes. A lot of the stuff that I'm going to be saying also is more geared towards PvE. I haven't really played the PvP. You know, I'm a little bit of an older person, I guess. And I'm just not... I just don't have the wherewithal, I guess, these days to do such things. When I was younger, sure, but we have another key. That one's probably not great. I'm gonna not identify it so that if I do die with it, I won't think that I've already picked it up, basically. I don't know if that makes sense to you. But if I die with it and I find it again, it'll still be a question mark. I tend not to take keys that I have. to save space, you know? Unless I know that they sell well, which is something that will come with more experience. I also don't remember what kinds of things I need to upgrade the hideout. I didn't really look. I know I need a measuring tape. I'll need an owl soon. The ratchet that I picked up. I don't think I need one very soon, but I know that they vendor for like 80k rubles. So I usually take ratchets just because they vendor for a good amount. There is a flea market, which is like an auction house kind of thing. You need a lot of hoses, by the way. So I'll just pick that up. Some things can't be sold on the flea. But we don't have access to any of the flea until a little bit later, I think. It works a little differently than how I remember it working in the actual, like, the alpha or whatever, beta. I might just avoid going through the middle there, because we don't really need anything from there. There's like a store that has some med stuff, but there's mostly like computer parts that way. I know that I'll need some stuff from Goshen, which is this store in the very back of the mall. I thought that door was the store. There will be lots of locked doors. Doors you can't get through. Back in this store is another potential spawn for the boss. So I'm kind of keeping an eye and an ear out. But if you go back this way, there are a lot of food items that you can get back here. Like, I know I need the iskras. I know I need small tushankas, which is like a beef stew. Like that, I think. I hear someone. Just a regular scav. I hear another. They're moving away that way. I don't know where they went. So we'll be listening as we loot and move. There's a trade for food storage item that requires this Tarkola, but I don't think I have access to it super early on. Wait, is this salt? I think I need salt early-ish. Or is it the big tuchankas that we need? I think it's the... I can't remember if it's the big ones or the small ones. I don't have a lot of space. So, as you can see, my inventory here is basically completely full. When you reload, you need an empty slot to put your magazine in. Hopefully I have... Where do you go? It's really unfortunate that that scav came when he did. Anyway, when you reload and you don't have enough space, your magazine falls on the floor. So, if your inventory is full, make sure that you're aware of it and picking up your magazines. You will end up with an empty space, and you can just pick up the magazine afterward. But it's something you need to kind of keep an eye on. Oh my god, there was a scav right there. You probably want to at least touch the bodies like this because you get, as you can see, 83 experience for just like opening the inventory. At this point, because my inventory is full and because of the nature of this map, I'm pretty much just heading out. Actually, I should check these rigs because I could potentially carry a lot more. What kinds of rigs do you have? The security rig is not very big. The Umcas have some space, I think. Let's see. You can also just do it like that. This rig is actually better. The Zuck rig has like kind of a lot. I don't need chocolate right now, unfortunately. So like the MCO is almost full. I guess this kind of is too, but okay. At this point though, I'm really wanting to leave. I have a lot of stuff. I don't really feel like I want to sit down and have like a hard think about all the items that I want to keep versus what I want to ditch. I would rather just leave because all we're really here to do is survive a raid for the story mission or whatever. And we have some items that will be very useful in the very near future. And I think we picked up enough medical items that were found in raid to turn them in. And then for that side task, all we'll need to do is survive around 0. We're keeping an eye out. There's a scav over there. Pretty sure he's a scav. He doesn't look like he's decked out in like a helmet and body armor and all that stuff. You can see him up there. There. But that scav being out here means that there's probably not a lot of PMCs out here. This is like a hot zone for like the AI PMCs. They like to hang out here. They're not. So we're just going to move on towards the Emercom extract. Which is way out here. If you're playing on PvP, people will sit out here and camp and wait for you to extract, like in those tents and stuff. So, you know, be mindful of stuff like that, I guess. And there's our first to survive. Not too bad.